The rain was soft that afternoon. Wine stood quietly in the hallway of the hotel, her fingers brushing the wall as he found her way toward the entrance of her private lounge. Wine and her husband were staying over while an event was going on downstairs. Wine was blind since birth. Her steps were slow. She had memorized the word by its corners, textures, and the way sounds bounced off surfaces. The echo here was muffled. Velvet walls, probably. She smiled to herself once she reached the room safely. As she moved to push the door open, she paused. There was a whisper, a giggle, a soft gasp that wasn't hers, a wet sound, a kiss, another one, but the voice stopped as if the two noticed her presence, but again. There it was again. She was blind, but not deaf. Her other senses were usually much stronger than average people. The two shifted off the bed. The woman walked past her slowly, but Ryan knew. The shift of the air around her told her everything. And then Jaemin came, kissed her temple like the most poised man, and smiled. Jaemin, here you are. You should have waited for me. You know, I love you a lot, and what if you got hurt? Fine. Thank you for worrying. I'm fine, Jaemin. She managed to say softly, but then she heard footsteps, which she recognized immediately. Wine, Jungkook? Years earlier, Jungkook and Wine had grown up next to each other. The kind of childhood love that didn't need declarations. It was in the shared bike rides, in the whispered secrets under cherry blossom trees, in the things he would help her do she couldn't do herself. And the promise he'd made under the stars when he cupped her face and said, I'll be back, it's just a month. And then he left for a tour abroad with friends, a tour his friends had planned to celebrate graduation before getting into practical life. He promised he would return and make her his officially. She smiled then, told him to enjoy his best, but what they didn't know, the fate was cruel. It was never wished for you. That month, Mine's life was destroyed. One evening, someone broke into their home. They killed her mother and threatened to kill her father as well, all because of some papers Mine's father never signed. He only took some loan from some people, and the poor old man was fooled. They demanded money right there. It was like a day of hell for that family. Vine couldn't hear her mother's voice anymore. The blood on her hands was like trauma she could never got over. And then there was her father being threatened to be killed. And then there was Jaemin, a faraway relative that was the only person Vine's father could think of in that moment to help them, and he agreed because there was a condition to marry Vine in return. But because Jungkook, his phone was out of reach. The deal was sealed, the debt collectors left, they held a funeral, and within a week, Wine was being prepared to marry, dressed up in a white gown as the bride of another man right on the day Jungkook was supposed to return. And when he did, she had heard him, shouting outside the house, heard the crash of glass, the slamming of doors, the trembling voice of her father as he begged Jungkook to understand. Father, he saved my life, Jungkook. He saved me. How could I not give him what he asked? Jungkook, she's not something to give. She's not yours to trade. But when he finally came across her, he couldn't say a single word. The pain in her eyes made him quiet, broke him from the inside. Every single part of him was stabbed a million times that day as he watched another man own the woman he loved. That day, he walked away, and he told himself it was punishment for leaving, for not being there when she needed him the most. And Ryan, she told Jaemin before taking the divorce that her heart belongs to someone else, and yet he insisted on marrying. Present. Jungkook, you look tired. Did that event run late? He asked gently. Today, Ryan worked under the company. Today, Jungkook owned, and Jaemin allowed. Why? Because money, of course. Jaemin, he allowed her. No, made her work in the same company as a man she told her husband she loved. Wine, I'm completely alright. Stepped forward, the lilies bouquet in her hand, and Jungkook, without permission, without apology, gently placed the flowers in her hands. Jaemin, what the hell do you think you're doing? Jungkook ignored him completely and stayed soft for Wine, a woman who was breaking little by little every day right before his eyes. JK, thank you for your hard work tonight. Mrs. Huang sent this specially for you. Wine was an interpreter. Jungkook had his reach out in the globe, and that's why he had many foreign clients, and Wine was a great help in those times. Jaemin, you don't have to come all the way to give it yourself. JK, or you could take the moment and appreciate your wife instead. Jungkook held Wine's wrist. Wine hand flinched for a moment at the sudden move. But for the first time, she didn't say a thing. No, it was the first time Jungkook ever did such a move. Wine had stayed quiet despite all the cruelty, and Jungkook had watched from a distance, respecting her choice and dignity, but not after tonight. Not after he saw it all with his own hands. JK, I'm taking her for the night. You'll know soon the reason. Jaemin was clearly shocked when Wine didn't say, and quietly followed Jungkook. No, where was the woman who prioritized their wedding above everything? Once they got in the car, there was silence. Wine had held her dress tightly and stayed quiet. Even if Jungkook tried to make her speak, she uttered no word. It was all because of one thing, only one. That man saved her father's life. Jungkook's eyes had turned red. The pain he was doing his best to bottle up inside of him sometimes threatened to burst like a volcano. And this was the moment when the same thing was repeating. So he did what he deemed was best, drove off straight towards her father's home and went inside with her. Wine, this is not office. This feels like home. Wine's other senses were too strong since she was being blind and she always had to rely on them. The door opened. Wine's father stood there, now much older and fragile than before. Father, you both, at this hour, is everything alright? Jungkook held Wine's hand and dragged her inside. Wine, Jungkook, let's go back. JK, free her. Father, what is that supposed to mean? JK, open your eyes. When are you going to move over your past? JK, do you even see what your daughter is facing because of your mistake? Your wife died. That was a tragedy. But why is she paying the price for it? Father, are you talking about Jaemin? It's been 3 years. You should move on. JK, so you got her married and now she's not even your business anymore? Father, I didn't want to do that either. Carla died. I was the only one left for Vine. She can't protect herself. Once they killed me, God knows what they would do to her. Jungkook ran a hand down his hair, the blood threatening to spill his eyes. JK, then what about now? Why are you making her keep the relationship which means nothing but pain? Father, what are you talking about? She told me she's happy. JK, and you believed her. He chuckled and then her father's eyes shifted to Vine. She just sat there, numb, staring into the void. He rushed over to Vine and held her hands. Father, Vine, what is he talking about? Tell me he's lying. JK, she put you above everything. Me, us, our love, our promises? No, care about me. She tolerated everything you forced her into. The wedding, she's being cheated on every single day. Yet she sucks it up because of the burden you made her handle. JK, why can't you see it? What kind of a loser is he making his wife work in the same company she told him the man she loves work at? JK, I decided to suck it up. When she was going through such pain, I had no right to complain, but this has gone on for long enough. Set her free. Jungkook was a man who was forced to give his woman to another man, let her be held and touched by someone else, let her be called another man's life. And he was a man who was forced to watch it every single day. Currently, Wine and Jungkook had returned to their car. After Jungkook's burst out, her father had remained quiet for a long time, wondering how things went that wrong. When every time he called his daughter, she would assure him she was happy. And then he set her free, cried on his knees apologizing, and told her she doesn't have to live under that burden anymore. It was never hers to carry, anyways. And right now, Wine was crying. In those 3 years, this was the first time Jungkook saw her crying. After all the hell she sucked up with a smile and stone heart, she finally cried, hands trembling, voice screaming, cheeks wet. She cried till she couldn't anymore. She screamed till her voice still worked, and then they had finally gone back, spent the night in Jungkook's penthouse. She slept on his bed while he stayed out. He turned off her phone during sleep when Jaemin called. This time, he was going to fix everything that went wrong. The next evening, they returned to the same hotel Jungkook took wine from. The event was of 3 days. Jaemin burst out in anger as soon as he saw wine returning with Jungkook. And he lost his cool, marched straight over to her, grabbed her wrist, and pulled her over to him. Jaemin, the hell do you think you are doing a whole night with another man? Have you finally decided to cheat? That's all you. Before he could curse, Wine finally pulled her hand back and slapped him. A woman who was always smiling, quiet, obeying, always prioritizing his respect and dignity, the perfect wife material a man like him dreamed of, she slapped him in the middle of public. The slap was too loud, it gained everyone's attention. Jungkook, Mr. Jaemin, this is an event held for the honorable guests to have some refreshing time before they attend the fundraising. I've made arrangements for them to have the quality time they deserve, and what you are doing is unacceptable. Jaemin, the hell are you talking about? JK, you have made wife work at the Jones Corporation to earn their trust, but behind the scenes you are making your way inside using your disgusting tactics. JK, Emily, Market Research Section C. Array, Media Department. Gia, Media Department. Sana, Finance Department. You have used all of them and very cleverly crawled your way inside, messing with the confidential records of the company. JK, and hence by now you have stolen nearly 40 billion of assets. He suddenly tossed some papers which flew in the air before falling before Jamin's feet. Vine was shocked. That was the part she never knew. The police entered soon after, cuffed Jamin, who screamed and struggled. His career was over there. He was humiliated before the most important people in the market. He was never getting out of this. JK, and oh, he stepped forward. His voice was now low, a declaration only for Jamin to hear. JK, that was not everything you lost tonight. You're going to regret not treating Wine right. And then he was taken away. Wine, what was that? Jungkook, you knew all that and yet you let him steal from you? Why? Because she did her best to protect his dignity and respect, and Jungkook couldn't break it. JK, I was just waiting for the right time to expose him. Don't worry about it. I lost nothing. He lied. But Vine didn't have to worry about a thing anymore. With him, she didn't have to feel a single pinch of pain or stress. JK, this is a huge day of your life. Focus on right now. Focus on moving on. Focus on all the happiness I'm going to bring you. Starting today, you don't have to worry about a thing. He cupped her cheeks. He wasn't going to rush anything. Both of them were damaged beyond repair. And while wine was all he needed to fix himself, he was going to give her all the time she needed and return to the happiness she deserved.